another RAS circuit. No, it's not showing it to me. It must be jammed. Okay, so what do we need to do? Go do the celestial circuit. Were you just thinking that?
Yeah.
Energetically, body's out of here. Yeah, and it's the masculine, the doing side that's exhausted. So, and you're doing so much, I can sort of really see why.
It's really slowing us. It senses like the third eye is just exhausted as well.
Okay. So Sanu's really sensing that exhaustion in the third eye. Yol and NOT, they're the ocular points, so that's where, energetically in Chinese medicine it's about visualizing and beautiful. Okay, so no, nothing else is showing up in the survival patterns. There's still something else in relation to psychic or spiritual EMFs. Oops. Yeah.
Not quite as weak as it was before.
No. And this time, yeah, right, so the energy mismatch was showing up as being okay. So the body's recognising it now, but it's still depleting the immune. Immune and inflammatory pathways. Yeah, okay. So it's the whole lower soul stuff we need to do. Okay. So this is where we pick up other soul components into our own from other soul lineages, because we may not have completely actualized our own spiritual sovereignty. Souls can reorganize if the soul's sovereignty is not self-realized. Generally, the higher parts of the soul remains intact. Here we don't need to clear something from the past, only exert ownership of our current components of our lower soul. Okay. I'll get you to repeat after me. I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own self-determination.
I acknowledge and exercise my right to my own self-determination.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own sanity.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own sanity.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own freedom of choice.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own freedom of choice.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to end games.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to end games.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to start new games.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to start new games.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own sovereign domain.
I acknowledge and exercise the right to my own sovereign domain.
I build connections with beings that support my own sovereign domain.
I build
connections with beings
beings
that support my own sovereign domain.
that support my own sovereign domain.
That was the longest one. Okay, so from there we go into psychological reversal. Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. I wonder if at some stage you've taken on other people's energy and it's really helped you in some way. Because maybe because it's showing up safety to not want to do that anymore. So it is safe to let go of this problem. Hold. It is safer to keep this problem. So maybe there's been a time when being able to, have people take your energy or you taking other people, maybe it's actually been beneficial for you in the past at some stage.
Yeah, because when you're so depleted, you need to draw other energy to keep you, to support you. Because your energy is so depleted that then we go into drawing other energies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So poor little brow chakra. So just send it some love and energy. Oh, release, release. It is safe to let go of this problem.
It's safe to,
No.
it's safe to let go of this problem.
It is safer to keep this problem.
It's safe to keep this
Beautiful. That's whipped the body into a reticular activating circuit again. Once again, serotonin. So serotonin seems to be a bit of an issue here, because that's the third or fourth time that serotonin's shown up. Yeah, so the low serotonin creates vigilance, and the vigilance exhausts the adrenals.
It's okay to have fun while we're doing this work.
It is okay to have fun. Yeah.
And get pleasure from it, enjoy from it.
Yeah, it may be being the all-consuming perfectionist or all-consuming professional, might be taking away from the fun of it. Yeah, so once the fun is gone, your brain wants to escape. And if it wants to escape, it's going to activate all those muscles, like, for example, the whole lower back thing. It can switch off some core supportive muscles in the lower back, because what it's doing is waiting for you to run away. So it's loosening all the muscles, expecting a result, a fight or flight or something going on. Oh, and this is because the karma format is part of that whole I acknowledge and exercise the right, those statements. So sometimes there's a karmic thing going on. Hold. That's not bad. Just making sure there's no implants or composites or entities. No, that seems to be all we need there. Whatever work you've done in the past, I'm sure has cleared a lot of that, Eve. Okay, no. So once again, I only use universal energy when using my psychic gifts. And hold. Okay, we'll check the HHV2 virus. Hold, 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 hold. It's not really showing up as being a problem. Make sure there's no organs that are storing it. No. Sorry, I thought I got the tiniest little unlock in the sex meridian. So I might just check it specifically. So in relation to HHV2 virus. Hold out. Hold out. I'm just gonna, quickly balance it anyway. Only takes 30 seconds. It's not showing up, which is great. Okay, so let's check supplements, so we see if there's some nutritional support that is good for you, and then after that we'll see whether or not there's HCG possibility. Oh, actually, I wanted to check histamines in relation to MCAS. Hold. H1 receptor. Oops. H2 receptor. So it's not showing up. Cool. Just making sure. Got something you're thinking?
I just think I'm glad there's not 40 of those.
Well, there's 4 of them, but the first 3 didn't test, so.
I did get a thing with the HCG, like, because of the energy being drained that we've just worked on.
Yes.
When you're doing the HCG, you're feeling like your energy, you've got no energy to support that. When you're cutting down on your food energy, because your energy is already drained, your body's going into, no, we've already got no energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll fix that too. No, my body really rejected it when she tried it.
Yeah.
It's because like, we've got no energy now, I'm not going to starve ourselves too.
Yeah, so I put HCG on the list. So now I just muscle test through and see if there's any other supplements. Oh, and HCG I haven't muscle tested up whether it's a priority or not. But there's a few gut things which is sort of interesting. So maybe the gut shuts down while you're doing this work as well, which might lead to other issues, like not digesting stuff or not. Oh, you know, there's that massive gut-brain connection. So there might be something like that going on. Okay, some iron, some liver. Yeah, so Iberogast, Bactrex, Detox, NAC. Stressan. Neurocalm. Alright, thyroid balance. Magnesium. Zeolites. Neurolift. Iodine. Yeah, right, there's a bit of a thyroid sort of pattern here. So maybe it's dumping the thyroid each time. You know, because you use so much mental and physical energy doing a healing. And if the thyroid gets sluggish, that slows down all your detoxification pathways and, well, just all sorts of stuff. Okay, so what do we want? We want to not be depleted after balances, after healings. We want the physical side effects, because they're sort of like side effects of this big healing you're doing, that we want them to be under control so that you can live your life, so you're not missing out on life by helping other people. So that's a bad paradigm to be in for the nervous system. You know, your nervous system needs to know that this energy should be fun, it should be vibrant, you should be able to easily access that universal energy without depleting your own
The universe
energy.
supports all your body functions.
Yeah.
Organs, whatever that's that,
Yeah.
If anything, you feel re-energized after it.
Yes, I feel re-energized after doing
Yeah.
energetic healings on people. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else that should be on this list that isn't? Okay, so let's have a look. Right, okay. For how many jars? Yeah, okay. So the first priority is thyroid balance. Interesting. So it's a loading dose of 3 in the morning, 3 at night for 3 bottles. So you'll need 3 jars for the first 30 days because there's 60 in a jar, 6 a day. So that's a loading dose, and then after a month you go on to 2 in the morning, 2 at night. The nice thing about the thyroid balance is that it has all the cofactors. Once again, I don't know where these EMF these spiritual EMFs sort of land in your body, but if they're similar to the EMFs travelling through our wireless network of life these days, they affect the brain, they affect the thyroid, they affect the heart, they affect the whole cardiovascular, anything electrical in the body they can be messing with if they're getting stuck in there. So basically we need to, so there's nervous system support in the thyroid balance as well, so it's nervous system, adrenals and thyroid. Second priority is magnesium. Okay, my preference for you would be a powder that tastes like rubbish called Energy X, 3 to 4 scoops a day. And the reason I like that one is because it's got n-acetyl carnitine in it, which helps with liver detoxification. It's got some iodine and tyrosine, which you need to make thyroxine again. So basically, first two priorities are thyroid. But the Energy X has magnesium, calcium, potassium in it, so it's nice and alkalizing for you. And then it's got some activated Bs in it as well. What I tend to do when I take the Energy X is just add some cacao or some xylitol or something, you know, to make it a bit more palatable for me. Maybe you'll just be able to scull it down. I don't find it very pleasant at all, but something chocolatey, even like a chocolate protein powder or something like that. And then you could have it as a morning brekkie thing. I'm really selling it, aren't I? Yeah.
I think it sounds good. Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah. So it's sort of, so just have it as a smoothie in the morning with something, you know, and actually there you could just have it as a smoothie. They're the only two things at the moment, which is really interesting. Now, maybe it's because if we do too much detoxing too quickly, your body won't cope with it, or maybe the thyroid's the key. So
the thyroid's very connected to spiritual, I think.
Okay. So with and of course the thyroid is also about your throat chakra, and it's about speaking, and this is what you're doing when you're doing your healings and readings. It's a lot of that throat chakra, throat energy sort of feeling. So they're the only two things showing up for you at the moment, Eve. And the HCG is not. So we need to, yeah, right. So if your thyroid's really defunct, just by the way, then if you do HCG, where's your energy supply going to come from?
That's why the body rejected it.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, okay. Maybe about 6 weeks on these supplements we can retest for HCG. Beautiful. Okay, so I hope you've had a nice little meditation. Thank you, Sanu.
Thank you, Eve. That was nice. No mistake that was very synchronicity.
Yeah.
Synchronous.
On the 8th of the 8th, 18.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, good special day. So I hope you've had a wonderful birthday as well, or a good birthday month. And we'll, look forward to hearing from you after you see the video. Okay, I'll be uploading it onto YouTube, and I'll send you a private email. So it basically goes into a private area in the YouTube, and I add your email to it so you can access it. Okay, cool. Talk soon. Bye.